Or a woman never truly realizes the value of a good man until he's gone. At first, she thinks she has time. She thinks his love, his patience, his loyalty will always be there. But when a good man walks away, the silence he leaves behind is louder than any words. And in that silence, she feels the weight of everything she lost. Or a woman often does not realize the true value of a good man until it is too late. At the beginning, she may take his love, patience, and loyalty for granted, or she might assume that his kindness will never fade, that his support will always be there, and that his presence is guaranteed no matter how she treats him. Or this assumption becomes the foundation of comfort, and comfort often blinds us to the importance of what we already have. Or a good man shows love not just through words but through actions. He listens, he forgives, he stands by her even in difficult times. Yet when she becomes too accustomed to this, or she can begin to believe that such devotion is ordinary, forgetting that it is in fact rare, when he finally reaches the point of walking away, the reality begins to settle in. Or she starts to look back at every moment he was patient when she pushed him away, every sacrifice he made that she never acknowledged, or every time he chose to love her despite her flaws. The absence of his presence creates an emptiness that nothing else seems to fill. Or that is the painful moment when realization arrives. The very things she thought were normal were actually the signs of a good man, and now she no longer has access to them. Or the regret becomes sharper because she knows deep inside that he never demanded much, only love, respect, and appreciation, which she failed to give consistently. Or the late realization often comes with a flood of memories. She begins to remember the way he protected her in moments of weakness, or the way he encouraged her dreams and how each it provided stability when everything around her seemed uncertain. These memories turn into reminders of what she lost. And the guilt grows heavier because she knows she could have preserved that bond with just a little more care and gratitude. Or it is not only the man she loses, but also the version of herself that felt safe, supported, and unconditionally loved in his presence. Or the pain of this realization is different from other heartbreaks. It is not just about losing love, but about losing a rare kind of love that is not easy to find again. Or she might meet others, but deep in her heart, she compares them to the good man she let go, and the comparison leaves her unsatisfied. Or that is why realization, when it comes late, is not just painful, it is transformative. Or it forces her to confront her own mistakes, to acknowledge that sometimes we don't lose people because they stop loving us, but because we failed to love them back with equal depth. Or in the end, the lesson remains etched in her heart. The value of a good man can only be fully understood when he is no longer there, and that realization, arriving too late, or becomes one of life's harshest truths. The silence that follows when a good man leaves is unlike any other silence. It is not the kind of quiet that brings peace, or it is the kind that echoes louder than words, a silence that carries weight and meaning. When he was there, his presence filled the air with stability, warmth, and reassurance. Or his voice, his laughter, even the way he asked simple questions gave life a rhythm. But when that presence disappears, the sudden stillness feels overwhelming. Or a woman begins to realize that his absence is not just the lack of sound, but the absence of care, protection, or an unconditional support that he silently provided every single day. In relationships, words are often taken for granted. Promises, arguments, and apologies are exchanged. But it is the actions and presence that hold everything together. A good man often doesn't need to say much. His loyalty and love speak louder than any declaration. Or he proves himself through consistency, through showing up, through being reliable. When he leaves, there are no messages to read, no calls to answer, or no comforting words to hear when life gets heavy. This lack of communication stings deeper than angry words ever could, because silence means finality, or it means he is no longer there to share life's burdens. For the woman, the silence becomes a mirror. It reflects back her choices, her words, or her actions that may have pushed him away. She begins to replay the moments when he tried to explain how he felt, the times he remained patient while she ignored his efforts, and the times she believed he would never walk away. In the silence, these memories grow louder, reminding her of what she did not value when she had the chance. or each memory feels like a sharp reminder that he endured so much until he could no longer stay, or that realization becomes unbearable because silence does not give her a chance to argue or fix things. It leaves her alone with the truth, or the silence also reveals how much space he occupied in her life without her even noticing. His consistent texts, his words of encouragement, his way of checking if she was safe, or these became part of her daily routine. Without them, she feels emptiness, and that emptiness grows heavier with time. She realizes that the noise she once overlooked, or the sound of his love, was what gave her strength and comfort. Now the void makes her appreciate what she dismissed as ordinary. What hurts most is that silence is irreversible, or words might have offered closure. Arguments might have given her a chance to defend herself, but silence closes every door. It leaves her with nothing but her thoughts, or her regrets and her longing. It is in that unbroken quiet that she finally understands the magnitude of losing a good man. His silence becomes the lesson, or louder than any words he could have spoken. Love must be cherished while it is present, because once it walks away, the silence it leaves behind can last a lifetime. Or when a woman loses a good man, she loses much more than just a partner. She may think at first that it is only the end of a relationship, but in reality, or it is the loss of a foundation that gave her emotional stability, safety, and trust. A good man does not simply play the role of a boyfriend or husband, or he becomes an anchor in her life. He is the one who encourages her when she feels weak, who listens when the world misunderstands her, or who protects her when she feels vulnerable, and who makes her believe that she is worthy of love without conditions. Losing that presence is not just losing a person, or it is losing the invisible shield that guarded her heart and mind. In his absence, she begins to notice the little things she overlooked before, or she remembers how he checked in on her after a long day, how he noticed her mood without her saying a word, how he gave her comfort just by being near. Or she realizes that those small acts were not small at all. They were the threads holding her emotional world together. When those threads are gone, she feels exposed and fragile. Or she may be surrounded by people, yet none of them can provide the same kind of security that he once gave so naturally. What makes the loss harder is that good men are rare, or his loyalty, patience, and willingness to sacrifice for her well-being cannot be replaced easily. She may try to move on, to seek companionship elsewhere, but every new experience reminds her of what she no longer has. The new conversations may feel shallow compared to the depth of understanding she once knew, or the new gestures may feel forced compared to his effortless care. The realization hits that she hasn't just lost a relationship, she has lost a sanctuary, or this loss also affects how she sees herself. A good man often helps a woman discover the best version of herself. He believes in her dreams even when she doubts them, and he reminds her of her strength when she feels weak. Without him, she may struggle to see herself through the same loving lens he once used, or she begins to question why she didn't value him more, why she didn't give back the same love he gave so freely. That self-blame mixes with grief, making the pain even more intense. Over time, she comes to understand that she didn't just lose a man. She lost the way he made her feel about life and about herself. Or his absence is not simply physical, it is emotional, mental, and even spiritual. And in that realization, she grasps the depth of what it means to lose a good man. Or it is not the kind of loss one easily recovers from, because good men do not only exist in a relationship, they become part of the very fabric of a woman's growth, healing, and happiness. Losing that is like losing a piece of herself. At first, when a good man leaves, a woman may convince herself that she is fine, or pride often whispers that she is better off without him, that she can move on easily, or that she deserves something more exciting. In those initial moments, or she may even feel a sense of freedom, believing she has regained control over her choices and her life. But as the days pass, pride begins to weaken, and reality starts to reveal its harsh truth. What once felt like liberation soon turns into a quiet, heavy regret, or she starts to realize that she did not lose just a relationship, but a man who gave her love with patience, loyalty, and consistency, or qualities that are nearly impossible to replace. This shift from pride to regret does not happen overnight. It begins with small memories that resurface unexpectedly. Or she might remember how he held her hand during tough times, how he stayed calm when she lashed out, or how he sacrificed his own comfort just to make her happy. Or these memories start to weigh on her heart. And suddenly, the reasons she thought were valid for letting him go seem insignificant compared to the love she has lost. Or regret creeps in slowly, but once it settles, it becomes a constant companion. Or the contrast between pride and regret is painful because it exposes the difference between illusion and reality. Pride is temporary. It gives her a false sense of strength or a shield to hide her guilt and vulnerability. But regret is lasting. It comes from the realization that she undervalued something precious. And once a good man walks away, or the chance to repair the damage is usually gone, this regret is heavier than any heartbreak caused by betrayal or rejection because it is self-inflicted. Or she knows deep inside that she had something rare, something most people spend years searching for, and she let it slip away. With time, regret transforms her perspective, or she begins to notice how rare genuine loyalty is in others, how rare unconditional support feels, and how difficult it is to find someone who truly puts her needs before his own. Every encounter with someone new reminds her of what she lost, or she may try to fill the void with distractions, but nothing feels the same. Regret becomes a shadow that follows her, or whispering reminders of the man who once loved her deeply and asked for nothing but appreciation in return. The emotional toll of this regret is profound, or it teaches her that pride often destroys what love works so hard to build. She realizes too late that love should never be taken for granted, and that humility, not pride, is what keeps relationships alive. In the end, the regret of losing a good man does not just live in her memory. It reshapes her understanding of love, loyalty, and the importance of valuing someone before they are gone. It becomes a permanent scar, a silent reminder that good men once lost cannot be replaced. Or respect is the foundation of any relationship, and without it, attraction cannot last. When a woman rejects you, she is not only testing your emotional strength, but also observing how much respect you have for yourself. Many men make the mistake of chasing harder after rejection, trying to prove their worth, showering her with attention, or begging her to reconsider. What they don't realize is that every act of desperation lowers their value in her eyes. She may feel flattered in the moment, but she will not respect a man who places her above his own dignity, and without respect, she cannot truly be attracted to him. On the other hand, when a man chooses to walk away with his head held high, when he honors his own boundaries and refuses to beg for validation, he sends a powerful message. I value myself with or without you. That is the energy that often makes a woman return. Respect creates attraction because it shows inner strength. A man who respects himself is not swayed by temporary emotions or external opinions. He knows his worth and doesn't need anyone else to confirm it. When a woman sees that you did not crumble after rejection, that you did not lower your standards to keep her in your life, she begins to look at you differently. Suddenly, she is reminded that you are not a man who can be controlled or manipulated by attention. You are a man who stands firm in his principles. And for many women, that kind of self-respect is rare and deeply attractive. This is also why many women test boundaries consciously or unconsciously. They want to know whether a man truly respects himself or if he will sacrifice his dignity just to keep them around. When you fail the test, when you tolerate disrespect or beg for validation or ignore your own needs, you show weakness. But when you pass the test, when you walk away from situations where you are undervalued, you not only eat or earn her respect, but often her renewed interest. Respect also works in silence. You don't need to announce that you're moving on or make grand statements about your worth, simply living your life with integrity, focusing on your growth and not entertaining games is enough to communicate the message. Over time, she notices, she feels the shift in how you carry yourself. And when she realizes that you didn't compromise your respect to win her back, she may begin to see you as the kind of man she underestimated. That realization often leads her to return, not because you begged, But because you showed her that your respect for yourself comes first, ultimately, women return to men they respect. They may be attracted to charm, looks, or attention temporarily, but true long-term desire is rooted in respect. And respect cannot be demanded, it must be demonstrated. When you live in alignment with your values, or when you refuse to chase validation, and when you choose dignity over desperation, you become the kind of man she cannot easily forget. That is why respect always comes before